Welcome to episode 16
Yeah.
of Fantasy
And football.
and football.
And football.
We're back. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see you.
You too.
It's
We
good to
totally
see you
didn't talk
again.
for an hour before we started recording.
Definitely not. This is the first time I'm seeing you since
Yes.
we recorded episode 15.
15.
We're back. We took a break. Our fantasy teams did so bad that we were
Yeah.
in mourning for a
Yes.
very long time. What actually happened is life.
Yeah. Holiday season.
Holidays and vacations and
Sure.
the end of the fantasy football season.
Birthdays. Both of us.
Birthdays, that's right. We celebrated a birthday. So to all of our fan, we missed you.
Yeah.
But with the end of the fantasy football season, kind of just the end of our fantasy football season,
Yeah.
it just sort of worked out that way. We'll talk a little bit of football today, but the plan is to pick back up with football around the draft when it becomes a little more relevant of fantasy moves, things like that. Also, who doesn't love the draft? Dude, honestly, the NFL draft is the best sports draft that there is.
Yeah.
The
I would
first
agree with that.
rounds matter so much. It's like in the NBA too. It's like star power matters in the NBA, but even their draft is like they'll trade 5 first-round picks for something because they're just like, that kid that's in 7th grade right now. Like,
exactly.
We don't care about that. It just doesn't carry the same kind of weight. And the combine leading up to it, I mean, just
combine's fun.
Really, yeah. And college football is such a big sport that most people like love their college team and they love the players on that team and they want to see them get drafted. I mean, the NFL draft is just fantastic. I've never been. Have you been to an NFL draft before?
No. That'd be sweet though.
Sometime, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's not in like Buffalo or something like that in April.
Yeah. Right.
Catch it in
yeah.
San
Where is
Diego.
it this year? Do you know?
You know what? I actually don't know. I should look at that. I'm not sure where it's at. They hold the draft combine in Indianapolis every year, which I've always wanted to go to that too. And being from Columbus, it's very close by, and never been. I have been to Lucas Oil Stadium, where the Colts play, but I've not been to the draft combine. So that is what we'll pick up with in April with the draft. For today, we'll just talk a little bit of Super Bowl. So obviously the Super Bowl is coming up. And you've got in the NFC, the Seahawks, and then in the AFC, you've got the freaking New England Patriots.
Yeah. They made it. I mean, they made it. It almost feels like this isn't true, but I'm like, they made it by default because of just all these things that happened along the way.
Yeah.
But that's not fair. They're a good team.
There's always luck involved.
Yeah.
In getting there. Now, will you call it luck that they had the easiest, like whatever metrics they use to quantify it, they had the easiest regular season schedule of any team in like a century or something like that. And then, of course, in the playoffs, they play Justin Herbert, who we know just is terrible in the playoffs, and then their whole team was hurt.
Yes.
And then they play the Texans, whose quarterback threw 4 first half interceptions.
I'm like, oh my, and they still was not that far off of a game. I'm like, it's like
and they were still the Texans were still within a score to win it.
Yeah. Their defense was like world class.
Yeah. I mean, they were the best defense in the league all year.
Right.
Overall. And then they go to play the Broncos and the franchise quarterback breaks his ankle.
Couldn't believe that.
The like third to last play of time. I mean, and then so they go play Jarrett Stidham and it's snowing and everything. So
they still barely beat him.
Still barely beat them. So they've had definitely a lot of luck, but they haven't squandered any of the
Yeah,
opportunities. So
they've capitalized.
they've capitalized. Now, Seattle, I said at the beginning of the season, I said it on other episodes, but I knew the defense was much better than, or would be much better than kind of going into this year.
Yeah,
Um, and then, of course, the biggest question mark was how Sam Darnold was going to play. And then in a game against the Rams, who have essentially the MVP, hasn't been decided yet,
right.
but Matt Stafford, and just went blow for blow. And
Yeah,
again, they got a couple of lucky. I mean, if that guy doesn't fumble that punt return, maybe that's like a 7-point swing, and maybe the
yeah,
Rams, can keep the lead, kind of a thing. But
yeah,
no, the Seahawks are absolutely legit.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, that was such a
Good
good
for game.
game, that Seahawks and Rams game. I heard a lot of people were saying like that was the Super Bowl in a way.
Yeah,
Like those are the
yeah,
best two teams.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I
um,
mean, my
go
I was
ahead.
gonna say my gut's telling me that the Seahawks are gonna take it pretty easily, but I just know that you just never know with the Super Bowl.
Any given Sunday. That's the best thing about the NFL. It
Hmm.
can be anybody, any given Sunday. I've enjoyed all the memes that are like, "Oh, we prayed for the Chiefs
Yes.
downfall, but at what
Yeah.
cost?" And it's just like
Yes. Yeah.
the Patriots dynasty is back.
Yes.
It's like, oh
I've
my
seen a lot.
gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say Drake May and Mike Vrabel seem to be much more likable than
I
Brady
agree.
Belichick.
Yeah. I have noticed that. It's like every person I've talked to in person, they're like, "Oh, the Patriots," but I like Drake May. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's good. All right, so let's give an official prediction. Who do you think is going to win, and what do you think the score is going to be?
I think the Seahawks are gonna win. I think it's gonna be 31-17.
Wow, so you're not giving the Patriots offense much
No.
against interesting. Um, so I also am picking the Seahawks. I'm around where you're at points wise. I think they'll score a little bit more. Um, I think it'll be like 35, but I do think the Patriots will make something happen. I mean, you're not going to have the weather. It's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
And I think Drake May will play. He's in the playoffs. His play dipped from the regular season, but then it's kind of it's swinging back up a little bit. Now, I know they didn't score a ton of points last game.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know.
He
It's
had
just,
some big plays
it
though.
was a weird game. But
Yeah.
I think it'll be 35-28, something like that. I do think the Patriots get over 20 points.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I honestly do hope it's close, just for the entertainment factor.
yeah.
Nothing was worse than last year was my worst nightmare of a Super Bowl, because not only did my team get destroyed, I mean, not only did they lose,
They lose.
but
Yeah.
it was a blowout and it wasn't even fun.
Right.
Like
Yeah. It's
I
like they
would have
didn't,
rather lost a close game, maybe, but
maybe. Yeah.
either way,
There's
it's just like,
there's no good loss.
yeah, yeah,
If it's close, then you feel like,
yeah. You're like,
oh,
we
if we
almost had
only
it.
did this, if we only
Yeah,
did this. Yeah. Now, interesting wrinkle that I do like a storyline in this is obviously the rematch from the
yes,
Malcolm Butler
yeah.
game.
I like that too.
So, and funny too is that none of like the coaches or quarterbacks, or anything is the same. So we'll see
Yes,
how much like carryover. Now, I'm sure that the Seattle, like when they met, like their first meeting after last game, they just like watched that play
yeah,
and
yeah.
were like, all right,
Got it out of your system.
see that now,
Yeah,
get that fire started a little bit.
yeah. I
But I'm excited.
once the game was set, the two teams, I was telling Claire about it over dinner. I'm like, no, you don't understand. They had the best running back in the league, and
Yeah.
and she's just like, oh, cool. And I'm like, you don't understand.
Yeah, she's like, wait, the running back is the one that hikes it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. No, Oh, dude, I'll have to send you the video. I saw a hilarious HBO for their Night of the Seven Kingdoms
Oh
did
yeah,
did like a commercial with Marshawn Lynch. He's just like
really?
in his house. Yeah, he's in his house and they sent him a squire, like a medieval squire, and it is
Oh, I
hilarious.
definitely send that to me. Yeah,
I'll have to send that to you. Yeah, I mean, beast mode is the man.
yeah,
And yeah, they threw it. And yeah, for all you whippersnappers that might
that's
not
right.
know what game we're talking about in Super Bowl, it would have been Seattle's second Super Bowl with Russell Wilson and
In his
who's
prime,
the, who's the coach? Um,
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. That's right.
Hmm.
And the Legion of Boom. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they were
Talk
so
about.
good.
I mean, Legion of Boom is up there with just the greatest of all time. I recently saw an old clip that I had not seen before with Joe Buck talking about the Legion of Boom.
Yeah,
And who were they? I forget. There was like zero context to the video because it was
yeah,
social media. But
yeah.
I guess the Seahawks were getting ready to play the team that like his wife is a fan of.
Oh,
And he said that we did like a press thing with the entire group of the Legion of Boom. And
yeah.
he said I left, went back to the hotel room, and my wife's like, "Oh, like how'd it go?" And he said, "Your team ain't winning this game."
That's so funny.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, just a team that was at the pinnacle, and then in that game, yeah, they were on whatever the 1 yard line, and Marshawn Lynch had been tearing it up, but they went with a pass play, and Malcolm Butler made literally the play of
Of his
any
career.
career of any career.
Yeah,
An interception at the goal line, fell forward to end the game. Essentially, when it was probably like on that little ESPN graph, it was
oh
like
yeah,
chance to win 99%, and then just
yeah.
like straight down to the other way because it was crazy and I
And you
mean it
always see
changed the
what was his,
trajectory of the team.
I can't remember. I am blanking on his name, but the cornerback. They always show his
Oh,
face, like his reaction.
Richard Sherman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Richard Sherman, where he's like,
Mhm.
it's like pure agony in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you
That's
got
tough.
Pete Carroll just
That's a wrinkle. Yeah.
chewing his gum. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so there's a lot, at least the people of Seattle, the Seahawks fans are definitely going to be thinking about that
Yeah,
rematch, even if the players aren't being kind of removed from that now for
yeah,
a little while.
absolutely.
But I'm definitely hoping I want the Seahawks to win. So
Me too.
we'll see how
Yeah,
it goes. Should be good.
yeah.
All right. Now
Time
we will
for
transition.
fantasy. Yes. So like Chris said, we're gonna talk more heavily fantasy for these next couple of months, few months. Starting with a book that we both read and absolutely loved. So we're just gonna nerd out about it on this podcast. What book am I talking about? I don't know if those words are backwards for the camera, but it's The Will of the Many.
They look frontwards to me.
Nice.
Is that
James,
the opposite backwards?
I think mine's mirrored. Like to me,
Is
it's backwards.
frontwards?
Frontwards. No, you're
Backwards.
right. Yeah,
Frontwards.
frontwards.
Yeah. All right.
Do you know how to pronounce his last name? James, is it Islington or is it like Islington? Like
I
oh,
would
oh,
assume it's
Islington.
Islington.
Islington?
Islington, it could be. He's Australian,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yes, he is. Yeah. This
Author
book.
of the Lacanius trilogy
Yeah.
is his other like big.
Wait, that's him? How did I
Yeah,
not know
dude.
that? Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I am ashamed of myself now for not knowing that because people recommend that series to me all the time. They talk.
Yeah.
Okay, have you ever read that series?
No, it is been on my TBR, and I asked for like
That's crazy.
I asked for
didn't know
like
that.
10 different books
Yeah.
from like just as like Christmas presents from family and stuff this year.
Wow.
And the only like I asked for the whole series, and the
Yeah.
only book like I didn't get from anyone was
Was
one
that
of
one?
those, and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
had to
I
sign.
have
Yeah,
that book, dude.
definitely, it's been high on my TBR. Yeah,
Yeah. One of my really good friends gave me that book for Christmas like 4 years ago, and it's been on my shelf. I haven't read it. I want to say
yeah.
this. That actually gets me even more excited for this series because every single time someone pitches me is it Lucanius series? The
Yeah.
That series. It's a trilogy, I think. They say
Hmm.
it is in terms of like from start to finish in the overarching story and like hitting all the promises you made from the beginning. Everyone that's ever pitched it to me said it's the best well done job of that they've ever read in any series, full stop. They say it's
Wow.
like critically like under talked about, but that's
Yeah.
gets me excited for this. And we're going to talk about some things later in our spoilery part of this episode of
Yes, we're gonna try to keep
why.
it spoiler. We're gonna keep it spoiler free here for a
Yeah.
little bit, and then we'll let you know with a banner when the
Yeah.
spoilers start.
Yeah. So I figured we just real quick start by like overall, how did you like it? What would you rank it?
Uh, on what scale? 0 to 5?
Yeah.
5 stars. I would give it 5 stars.
Yeah.
It's a slow build, but not in like a. It's not hard. You don't like trudge through.
Yeah.
It's just a little like, I don't know. The only thing, and when I was reading it, because I read it before you did,
Yeah.
and like I would text you about it, like I would compare it to Sanderson, which like
Yeah.
Sanderson is like, here's a lot of the characters, here's a magic system, here's like a lot of the places. It's kind of Game of Thrones in the sense that
Yeah.
like even though the story may be advancing at like a normal pace, like the information you're getting is coming in at a hot clip.
Yes.
This is not that. This is like
Yeah.
just a story being told,
Yes.
and you find out you don't. I never got that like overwhelming sense of it.
Me neither.
But it's not slow, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a medium burn.
I agree with you. I think I give it a 5 also. My goal is by the end of this hour episode, anyone watching that has not read this series that likes fantasy is going to pick up this book because I loved it that much. Anyone that likes epic fantasy, 100% for the rest of time, I will be recommending this book. It was that good for me. And I told you this, Chris, but for our viewer out there, I went into like an epic fantasy slump. I didn't read a single epic fantasy in the entirety of 2025 until this book because I kind of burnt myself out by, I love Brandon Sanderson, but I was trudging through some of those like Stormlight Archive books and other books because I wanted to get to book 5 by the release date. And I did, but I still have not read book 5 because I burnt myself out doing that. So
Yeah.
But when I read this, like literally within the first 50 pages, I was like, oh my God, this is why I love epic fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
It's so intricate and so cool. Like you said, it doesn't like slam you into it, but it gives you enough that you can tell that this is going to be an overarching like epic, and it's just sweet. And it pulls you through the whole time. Like I read this fast for my standards, and this is a 700-page book.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
680.
I like too that his style, like, I mean, all books have twists and turns.
Yeah.
But I think he does a really, really good job of leading you like on those paths that
the red herring.
Some you see coming, some you think is gonna happen. And I do like, from this book, I learned that I like sometimes not getting an answer.
Yes, me too.
And that not everything has to be tied up. Not everything has to, at least immediately. And we'll talk about this more too. But the second book of the series is out, and who knows? I mean, maybe some of those things, I assume, right? Some of those things might be answered, but there are definitely like things that happen that you get to the end and you're like, well, they didn't answer this. He didn't answer
Yeah,
this. He didn't answer this. But I think that's okay. I kind of like
I
that.
do too. And knowing now that he wrote that other series and what people say about it, wouldn't be surprised if he does answer them eventually. But I do agree. I like that too. And I think epic fantasy lends to that better than other fantasies because the books are so diverse and huge that it feels more realistic that way. Where it's like, this is how real stories happen. Not everything's perfectly tied with a bow. Yeah. One thing I liked about this book that I had never seen in a fantasy book personally is there is a glossary at the very end that tells you how to pronounce these insanely spelled fantasy names.
Yeah. So it draws on, it's not hard to guess, but it draws on kind of that like ancient Roman
Yeah.
nomenclature, if you will.
Right.
So
Preceptor.
yes, a lot of like a little Red Rising, but like way more actually.
Yes. Yeah, Red Rising is like the actual gods' names of Roman culture. But these are just like Roman inspired.
Yes.
Yeah. There was one name in particular. This isn't a spoiler. Well, we'll do it in this just in case, but like we'll do it later. But I just want to say that if not for this glossary, never in a million years would I have pronounced his name that way. There were several names like that.
Yes.
I'm
probably gonna, in the spoiler part, I'm probably gonna pronounce a bunch of names wrong because I can't even remember. I'm like trying to be like, I kind of remember their names, but I don't remember how to say it. Yeah.
One thing I want to say that I really loved, I'm going to say that phrase over and over, but another thing that I loved is, let's see if I can get this to focus. There we go. Oh, that didn't work.
Yeah, you're good. You look good.
When you have like a POV, point of view of the book, I like when an author, not only when that character's speaking, but even in just the prose, like all the lines between dialogue, they reflect that character's like perception. And I think he absolutely nailed that with the main character of this book so well through the whole thing. It was so consistent. And like every line, I'm just like, man, that makes sense for this guy. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
Even the way he opens the book.
Yeah. I think his character development is really solid. I think he does a good job of keeping bits and pieces of character. Like I think a lot of the characters, even some of like the secondary and like tertiary characters, I think he does a good job of keeping them, giving them more depth, like that they're not just like you make assumptions about how they might react or like their thoughts and feelings to things. But he definitely adds more depth to it, which really helps carry those like interactions that may not be super important. Like they don't move the plot along, but if it's just like a conversation between two people about something, like he does I think he does a really good job of building those characters.
I agree too. Kind of like you said earlier about the red herrings and like things that don't get answered and some do. One thing I liked also is I feel like sometimes I do a pretty good job of, I'm like, I have a prediction and I'm not exactly right, but I was like kind of right. And there were some like that in this book, but there were also a lot that I was totally wrong on. And I love when that happens where you're wrong, but you're more satisfied with the right answer than if it would have been what you thought it was. And that happened several times in this book for me. So that was cool.
Yeah. Cool.
One more thing before we get into the spoiler section, because you had been telling me about this book, and actually before you told me about it, I had never heard of it. And then you came to visit us and you had the book with you, and I was reading something else at the time, but you gave me the book. And for you listeners out there, the first paragraph, like 2 paragraphs of this book are absolutely fire. So good. Like, immediately I was like, holy shit, that's sweet. And
Yeah.
you get the vibe of the book so fast. And that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to read this book at some point, because it was just that gripping, which is a hard thing to do as an author. So that was very impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it time?
It is time.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Last chance.
Earmuffs, kids.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
The opening of the book, something I loved. I think I maybe texted you about this early on. So Viz. Is it Viz or Vis?
I think it's Vis.
Yeah, I think so too. So
I think it's like a literal.
I mean, I have the glossary here, but yeah.
I mean, the glossary. Yeah.
He's our main character. He's 17, a little bit older, or no, yeah, a little older than 17 because he turns 18 in the book. He is very smart, like genius level smart, very analytical, and he's always assessing every situation because he has to, because his whole backstory, without like over explaining the book, he's like on the run from this empire, basically this hierarchy, and if he gets found out, he could be killed. So he's constantly assessing every situation he's in. And what I love is it opens the book with him essentially playing their world's version of chess, which is like, that's all you're doing in chess. I just thought that was a really cool parallel to like set up his character. Where he's playing chess and being analytical, and then that carries on through the whole book.
Yeah.
And then literally plays chess in an extremely important moment later in the book too. So that was a cool way to tie to it.
Yeah. I like too that his backstory that you learn. So it opens that he's like an orphan, and you're kind of like, okay, this is going to be a classic, like Harry Potter, a classic, like whatever, like rags to riches or like rags to riches are just like a nobody to a hero, zero to hero kind of thing. But then you learn that no, really his background is that he was a prince, that he had access to training and scholarship and all these things. Now, obviously, you don't find that out. I mean, it's not like the end that you find that out.
Right.
You get like glimpses into that just through his inner dialogue. But it's more of like a prince, like you said, that this empire, the hierarchy comes in and they're like, submit to us, no more feudal kings and lands and everything, to be under the hierarchy. So then he's on the run, and using those skills to basically survive.
We probably should have like given a pitch for the book in the non-spoiler section, because someone watching this can be like, well, what's it about, before we even get into this.
That's all right. We can
I'll do one right now, and I'll cut it in the beginning. Ready?
Yeah, and then cut it. Yeah. Go ahead.
So before we get into the spoiler section, here's basically the pitch of the book, from the way I guess I would pitch it to a friend. There's this fantasy world where there's a caste system where the people on top have the most power, both figuratively and literally with magic. And each caste system below it is seeding their will, which is like basically part of their life energy, to the caste right above them. Our main character, well, you can probably assume that you can understand how that would be a very corrupt system overall, very intricate. It can be. Our main character is like on the very bottom. Technically, he's like technically not even a part of it, without giving spoilers. But his whole initiative is to try to take it down. So then the story is about how he tries to achieve that. And it's very good. All right, now moving on. Back to the spoiler section.
Back to the spoilers. Um, dude, some of the twists and turns too.
Oh yeah.
So tell me what you, just without getting into too much detail, we can go into a little
Yeah.
bit
Yeah.
after if you say, but just say what was the biggest twist to you.
Yeah. Relukia, Sedotia, her actually being Okiskor's wife blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, dude. Okay. So mine's the same. Not even the end, which is like the craziest part of the book.
Yes.
But as
The
far
end
as
was
just
insane.
a moment goes, and like literally, I think he writes like my jaw was like on the floor.
Yes.
Just
I
like,
couldn't
oh
believe
my
it.
God. Yeah.
Dude, so
Yeah.
this is one of those things I talked about before where I'm like, there's something about Sedotia. Like she's gonna be maybe someone else. And then I also thought, I'm like, old Kisker's wife has been mentioned too many times and not shown yet that she's gonna be someone important. But I did not think that they were gonna be each other, which blew my mind. It was more satisfying than I would have guessed.
Dude, it was unreal. It's such like a pivotal moment.
Yes.
To find that out, which was obviously, probably she planned it that way.
Yeah.
So I initially thought that I too thought she was going to be either a really important person,
Yes,
or somehow not like related to the resistance, like the Angui or Anguis or whatever, but I thought it was going to be like she's away because she was murdered, or like something else outlandish. But if she was going to be a powerful person, I thought that she would be like the one at the very, very, very top or something, something like that. But when I did not see that coming at all. And
not
like I was
little.
Also like, I'm reading the words, like my jaw hit the floor, and I'm reading the words like with my jaw on the floor, dude. Yeah, just like, oh my God.
Two things about that. My prediction was I thought she was going to be related to his past. I thought she was going to be like a distant family member, and he was going to be like, oh my God, she knows who I am. But I was obviously wrong. But two, so I read this book at the same time as a friend out here who I convinced to read it at the same time. And he was always like consistently like 2 chapters ahead of me. And we were together when I was reading that chapter, and he knew it, but he did a very good job of like not giving anything away. But he's just like sitting there, and then when my jaw dropped, he just like turned towards me, like, "Did you just read?" I was like, "Dude, yeah,
yeah, that's good. That's sweet." So then, there's obviously the end, which
the ending's insane.
The ending it's a little bit of an avalanche in its own right.
It is.
Now, I don't think I told you this, and I was waiting till you were done with it and for us to have this conversation.
Yeah.
And if I already told you, then I guess I blew it. But I saw a spoiler for the end. But I was reading when they announced that the second book was coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a synopsis for it.
Yes.
And was like, ooh, like this is going to be interesting. And then it just gave the game away all the way. So I knew what was going to happen.
Ooh.
Like, I guess I knew like I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I just knew
something was going to happen with this.
I knew that happened. Yeah. With the synchronism. So,
that blew my mind. That type of thing or twist to me is like, I'm like, what even is happening? Like, I couldn't even wrap my brain around it. I'm like, and it just ends.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah. And then I thought it was sweet the way that he writes, like the way the book ends is like you have the synchronism happen as it's happening in the story you're reading.
Yes.
And then it's not epilogue, it's synchronism. And then you read it again.
Yes.
And then synchronism. And then you read it again. And I was like, for a second, when I was
I was,
reading like the
yeah,
first synchronism, when I
yes.
saw that, I thought it was gonna be like a little like, "Hey folks, thanks for reading Will the Mini.
Oh, yeah.
Here's
Like the
a
acknowledgments.
description of not acknowledgments, but it's just gonna be like, here's an appendix for what a synchronism is." But I'm reading it and I'm like, "Oh,
Oh,
why did he include the ending again?" And then I was just like,
yes. Yeah.
"Whoa." Yeah,
You're
dude.
so right, because the first, so this is major spoilers, but the first synchronism we get is it starts the exact same. Like he wakes up, he's in the
Yes.
ring, it says to get out, and he goes, and then when it splits is when he sees the writing on the wall, and then his arm fucking gets cut off. And
Yeah.
that's when you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck? You're like, this is
Yeah.
different. And then it like
Yeah.
does it again, and you're like, oh my god, this is a different reality. It's like
Yes.
different
And then you realize it.
planes.
Yeah, because then in the last synchronism is when he meets
Yeah.
the
The brother.
brother, right?
Yes.
And then it like all clicks into
Or
place. You're
yes.
just like,
You're like,
oh my
oh.
gosh.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So this leads perfectly into my biggest thing with this.
Yeah.
It's just like all the questions
Yeah.
that now come up, right? So
So many.
Karer,
Yeah.
the brother,
Sayor.
it's like Sayor, like why is there just one of him?
I know, I was thinking that
As
same
far as we
thing.
know, right? And
Right.
then does that have something to do with the magic system?
Right.
Does that like part of a cover up or like what's going on? And then what happened with who's his who's the person that was like in the relationship with Sarah?
Oh,
What's her name?
Lenistia.
Linestia, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So then
She's
it's like
dope.
with her like vision missing,
Yeah.
like how does that tie into what he saw in the
Right.
temple with those people?
Yes.
Like how is that related? Um so many questions. Obviously with his main love interest in the story. I'm forgetting so many names because it's been a
I
little
miss
bit since I read it. But yeah, so then like the
yes.
ending with what happens between them too, and you're just like, well, what? And
That was
then
also crazy.
you get, do you remember he gives you an explanation for it
Yeah.
through one of the other characters, but then it's like, is that BS though?
An explanation for Amissa?
Yeah,
Or
of why she
Amissa?
did what she did at the
Yes.
end. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, and then one of the biggest questions I have that is probably the second biggest arc
Yeah.
of the whole story is the Anguilles
Yes.
and how they're able to
What
fight
the fuck's
against the
going on
hierarchy.
here? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, and the
uh,
power, like the magic they have.
the magic that they have, and then when she used an arrow on her
Yes.
husband that like knocked him out, like how did that work? And to be honest with you, I still don't know how Will works.
Yeah.
Like
I think
you've
I
got
understand Will. I think it's like
you do
literally your like life energy. Like if you think about your like just energy.
well, sure, yeah, like a chakra or like
Yeah.
that's like pretty popular in anime. Like
Yeah.
chakra is like your life
Oh, I
energy, that
guess
kind of
I
thing.
see what
So
you're saying. You don't because
that
they
makes
didn't
sense,
really
but I'm
explain the
like,
column and all that stuff.
yes,
Like how you have to
like
do that in
how
order to do it.
in order to do it, how like people have like Linestia has like a sense,
Yeah.
but
'Cause
then for
she's using
some people
so
it
much.
seems like they're only like they bulk up. It
Yeah.
gives them like some of the things that make,
I see what
I
you're saying.
guess, the easiest sense. Like the low hanging fruit is that like, oh, look, you have more life force, therefore you can like move faster and you're stronger. Like physical attributes make
Yeah.
sense, but it still doesn't really like I could not sit down and like write out like
Yeah.
allomancy. I can sit
Yeah.
down right now and just like write and explain how that works and
I
like
get
what
yeah.
most of the rules are. But
Yes.
this, I feel like there's a lot of holes left.
Yeah. That's true. Something I loved about how the author did that, because I agree. I feel like it's so complex, but I thought he did a very good job of when they're learning in school, he like gives you enough without giving you anything to make you realize you're like, damn, this magic goes deep, very complex. When they're in their year or this level 6 and they're like subject for we were talking about this today, and it's like this application of will in this specific scenario and how you can do it in this specific way.
Oh, that's right.
And you're like, okay, so this is clearly extremely complex, and we probably won't ever find out those details.
I know.
But it's good to know that it exists like that, and that it is super complex.
Maybe there is like a set of rules for how, and that reminded me, because I forgot about that, how they're literally learning about it and the principles and how the principles interconnect and how they're still even figuring out how things work, because then they have willpower devices and like how all of that works.
And the sappers, all that stuff. Yeah, dude, there's so much. Lenistia's eyes, I'm so curious about, just because of what he saw in the temple. And when he like brought that up to Olkiskor and Lenistia, they just like didn't comment on it, even though they like Lenistia got really uncomfortable, but she didn't say anything about it. So it's like, well, what the fuck happened? There's so much that we still just don't know with Seor and Lenistia and Viridius. Viridius is one. The entire book, from the first time his name was mentioned to the very last line of the book, I do not know if I can trust him. I don't know if he's good or bad.
I know.
I haven't decided. Because then, if you remember, right at the end, he's like talking to Vis alone. And he's like, I know who you are, but you could save the world, basically. And you need to trust me.
Yeah.
And Viz is like, so it's like, man.
Yeah. To me, Viridius's name is too close to Sadius. And for all you Stormlight fans out there,
I know.
I was kind of like thinking like that, just parallels. But yeah, dude, I feel like so much happened, and I mean I think that can be a marker of something really good, is that a lot can happen and you have way more questions than you did before, and
I love it.
Just unbelievable. So I hope there's maybe someday some like Sanderson style
like
index of like, this is how will works and what you can do as far as what they know and like the origins of it, and like, because clearly they don't understand
some of that.
I mean, we have to.
You have to. There's another thing that, so when he's back in his home island, which I am blanking on the name of his home island. I loved the arc there with the guy who was like seemingly working with the bad guys, who used to be an advisor of his father, and then you like hate him, and then you find out that he was like resisting them in his own way the whole time. And they had this really nice
that he recognized him
immediately. That was really nice. I liked that was included. But when he's on that island, he like goes out and he sees Relukia Sadocia in that room with this other dude who's like wearing the cloak, and he like has a severed head. Do you remember that scene? And
I'm blanking on that scene.
Yeah, so he's spying on her after he spied for her, and she's talking to this guy who has like this head, and the way the conversation goes, it makes you think that she's in charge. Like, she's the ringleader of all this now that the other guy died, Melkorn or whatever his name was. And the other guy's like one of her pawns that has magic. He like shows that he has magic, like weird magic. But then at the very end of the book, he shows up in that tower and is like there when Amissa stabs him. And then like
and
he says something like, you're gonna want to like do something with that arm before you lose it tonight. And he's like, what? Because the guy recognized that he did synchronism.
Yeah.
So then you're like, wait a minute. This guy clearly is way
Yeah.
more powerful. Like he's someone who's
Yes.
achieved it.
I remember that now. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, then
So
who
he
was in
knew what
charge?
was going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
Right.
is he in charge?
Yeah.
Or was he just
Yeah.
playing Relukia? And does she even know that? It's like so many questions, like you said.
Yeah. Or is like one of the other realities, do the Ingwees have, or whoever this is, like, do they have some technology that they're
Yeah.
using now in this reality because someone was able to reach people in this, like, yeah, I mean, so many questions. But that was a really cool twist in the book too, is like when he finally, it's like he finally gets in like with the group.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh, we're going to take this trip
Yeah.
to my father's house. And he's like,
Yes.
oh, great. Where is it? And then it's like his family's
Yeah. It's
own
like, oh, it's the place that we took over.
island. Yeah. And just like, oh my gosh, the stress of having to deal with that. And then they almost drown.
Yeah.
And then he because Missa almost gets taken by the riptides or rip currents or whatever.
Yes,
right?
that was a cool scene.
But then he just takes off.
Yes.
And they're like, how did you know where to go? And like all this. Yeah, just
that's when that guy figured it out. Yeah, his other classmate.
Yeah.
Seuss is what the place was called. Yeah.
Seuss, that's right. Yeah.
Amissa was one that the whole book, this author got me, because when I met her and she was flirting with him, I'm like, it's a trap. Don't do it. It's a trap.
Yeah.
And then they start like bonding, and then they like kind of fall in love. And the whole time I'm like skeptic. And then I finally was like, you know what? I'm into it. Like, I'm so happy that they found each other. And then she fucking stabs him. The next chapter.
I know. But then was it Viridius, right? That tells him that she stabbed you because she thought that you were like gonna die anyways.
Yeah, like corrupted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the word he said was corrupted.
Corrupted. Like,
because
she saw, he was like ooze. Was it?
Yeah,
did he have
his
like
arm,
blood, right?
He showed his arm, which I have to say this. The only thing in the book, just because we're PTs, he said he got bit in the bicep, but then says it's on the back of his arm. I'm like, that's not where your bicep is, brother.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's the singular thing. But
that's like we were watching Pitch Perfect last night, and oh gosh, what's his name? Not Skylar Astin. I cannot think of this actor's name, which is really bad because I've seen that movie a million times. But he's just like, they're like want to fight, and he's like, oh, actually, and he grabs himself right here. He's like, I tore a quad out there. So
yeah, not right. That would have taken 2 minutes. Yeah. Like you were saying, what were we saying?
Yeah. So why would she know?
Oh yeah,
he's corrupted. Did she actually think, like, this is just Viridius saying this?
Yeah.
So
I believe it based on her reaction.
I don't know.
So that's what I liked about that twist, is you can tell, or at least he makes it look like she really did love him, and that she was like torn apart that she was going to have to kill him, because he showed the arm and she was like, oh my God, you're corrupted. But then it's like, how does she know what that is? How much does she know?
Yeah. Right.
Which seems like she's in cahoots with. Yeah, it makes me wonder about all those bodies. It's like, were they like corrupted? And I don't know, because those were all like blackened bodies, like his arm was turning into. Yeah, there's just so much. I just randomly thought about, because of his arm, the Alupai, the big wolf. The thing is awesome.
That's sweet. Yeah, that's really cool. Maybe, man, you know what I just thought about? Maybe people who seed can't achieve synchronism.
Ooh, interesting.
Or people who just like
communed
with Columnae or whatever.
Yeah. That's a good. Okay, so this is a good time. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about from this book, I wanted to finish with us like making predictions for the next book.
Predictions.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. That's good. Yeah.
So that's a good one. We can start with that.
Yeah.
Because that's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
There has to be something with the fact it's such a big deal that he hasn't seeded, and not only just for his personal story, but I wonder if there is something that's going to come into play with that.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't know how the fuck he's going to do this is how the hell is he going to manage 3 different realities?
I know.
Like, how is he going to tell this
in between
story?
them. Yeah, maybe just using like I hope the chapters are just like obidium or whatever. And
Yeah,
like I hope they're just like that so I can keep it straight, which
I
like we're
know.
obviously talking about.
That's going to be
And then
be
getting
hard to do.
like, yeah, like I wonder what it is like. Yeah, what it means. Like he went under synchronism, which
Yes.
means he was like copied.
Yeah.
Maybe like only copies can be made if you're like your whole self and not either seeding or like
Oh, yeah.
getting
That's a good
will
one.
or something like that.
Yeah. Because
Um,
maybe that's what right. So there's 3 of them now. There's the one that's in our main timeline who he lost his arm,
He
but
lost his
after a
arm, yeah.
while. There's another one where his arm was just gone to start with. Is that the one where he meets the brother? Like he wakes up and he's like, "Where the fuck's my arm?" And then the brother is like, "Hello." And then there was no, that's because there was one where he like comes to and there's like a tribe that gets him, like comes and grabs him.
Yeah.
But-
Wait. Yeah, so yeah, so there's the one where the tribe comes, but when he lost his arm, I thought because they literally explain how, because in the first synchronism you don't know. It just he has like letters that he thinks they're like symbols like burned into him, but then it just spells one, it's like wait.
Yes.
And then it's run.
Yes.
It's like burned into him. But he tells you, he shows you the scene of when that's happening.
Yeah. Yes. I remember. I'm reading it right now.
Okay.
So there's the one reality that we already read. Like that's this whole story where he loses the arm because it was decaying.
Yeah.
The second one is he wakes up. It all starts the exact same. It's getting etched into his arm. He runs to the door and there's big words on the door that basically says like the passage to Lucium requires a toll. And there's a huge flash. And then he like wakes up in this other reality and his arm is gone. And that's when the tribe is like, traveler. And they just, that's how it ends. Yeah. And the third one, he wakes up somewhere new, just missing his arm to start with. And that's when Seor's like, get up. We need to talk.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to talk.
Brother, this
but
is
then
crazy.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember who it was, like, because the person was like having a conversation like we need him to wait, like not yet.
That's his brother.
So
that's how it ends.
That's okay. So he did that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because I think he's like, give me your arm. Right. And then he does it into his arm.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. Because he got there first. That copy of him.
Yes.
Landed there first, right?
Yeah. So that's what he says. You've been copied, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same way the world was. Oh, wow. I just read that line. So during the war against the concurrents, the world was copied thousands of years ago. So maybe each of these is just copies of the original world.
Yeah.
Which one's the original? Wow.
Copied just like the world. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, so he says pull back your sleeve, Viz, because he's going to cut into his arm. Yeah. So that's, yeah, I don't even know what to predict.
I know that. At this point, it's like we talked our way right into like, oh shit, we don't know what's going on.
There are things that I wrote down that I would like to hear your predictions on.
All right.
What do you think the deal with like Linistia's eyes and what happened to her? Because I have a prediction.
I think that she was somehow going to, because weren't all the, when you read the
Yeah.
synchronism, not in the temple, but the synchronism,
Yeah.
the first time, there's like all those like hooded figures standing around,
Yeah.
but their eyes were like burned out or whatever
Yeah.
too, like
Right.
sightless. So I think maybe somehow she was gonna like be one of them or something.
Yes.
And like I don't know how you become one of them. And maybe like, oh God, maybe it's like certain people that fail the synchronism
Yeah. That's what I
like
think it is.
become that, and then maybe the worlds were initially first copied where the old ruins are,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
or like something happened at the old ruins where now all the like bodies all over the place like were those people
Yeah.
initially, and then now they're all just like have their own, because right, they were all impaled on swords, and
Yes.
in the synchronism
Obsidian.
they're all holding the swords,
Yeah. Obsidian.
right?
They always say that word. Obsidian.
Yeah, obsidian. So maybe, yeah, it has something to do with that, that she
Here's
somehow escaped it. I don't know.
yeah. My guess is, like you said, if you fail to synchronize, you get turned, because all of the, when he shows up and there's the labyrinth and there's like this thing standing there like, I tried to do this and because of that I'm serving this forever, and
Yeah,
all of them don't have eyes, they look just like Lenistia. So I have a feeling if you fail, you like basically get your memory wiped and you're like tasked to just being there forever.
forced to serve that
Yeah.
forever. Yeah.
So maybe, and maybe it does have to do something with seeding. Like maybe Sayor didn't seed or something, so he successfully did it, but Lenistia failed, and then Viridius like saw the version of Sayor on this side, and Lenistia's eyes gone, and like panicked and just took him and left.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Sayor was said to have committed suicide, and I don't remember if they found his body, but
No, they
yeah.
never did.
Sayor's another one. Like, do you have a prediction on him?
No, dude.
neither.
I'm just along for the ride, son. At this point.
Yeah. What about Amissa?
Yeah, so I do think there's something deeper there, other than just like, I think she was legitimately heartbroken. She was gonna have to stab him, but I think either like she knows more, or I could see it playing out to where maybe like she doesn't know anything about that, and she's really truly like at the institute just to fulfill like her duty of graduating top of the class because something matters. Because did we know who her family
I'm sure they talk about it,
was?
but I
They
don't
must have.
remember.
And maybe because this is thought was that she stabbed him and he was like, wow, like she really wanted to win that badly.
Yes.
But then Viridius is saying, no, it was to put you out of your misery, kind of a thing. And it's like, well, why wouldn't she have tried to get him help?
Yeah. No, I think you're right on the I would guess on the first thing, like you said. I think she knows more. I think her and Viridius have been in more contact than we realize.
Maybe she was like spying,
yeah,
getting close to this so she could
but I
learn
still
as much and relay it all to Viridius.
Yeah. I want to feel like that those feelings were real, but I'd be heartbroken if he was just a spy the whole time. But I wonder if she had some, like if she has some connection to the labyrinth, like maybe she had a sibling that was one of the ones that disappeared and never told anyone, so she's more in on it than we think. Something we didn't even talk about was how like there were kids running this and dying, like whatever her name was.
Oh yeah,
she ran it, like,
but she clearly knew.
And she was
clearly knew that it was a thing.
So that makes me, she was impaled with a sword, and it's like maybe she's gonna turn into one of those things. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Oh man, that's right. Because he goes to run it, and she had
she's already
already
dead.
been there and already tried and dead. He
Yeah.
saw her.
And
Yeah,
it
that's
almost
right.
makes him
That's right.
lose because he like
Yeah.
panics when he sees her.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then we didn't even talk about Calidus or
Oh
is that his
yeah.
name?
Uh-huh.
Or
Calidus. Yeah.
Calidus and the other
Other
guy
guy.
who's his
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
I liked
Yeah.
both of them a lot.
Tooth
I'm
or whatever his name was.
yeah.
It probably wasn't that.
I'm
I
sure
don't
they'll
think
be
it was.
important, but I don't think they know anything about what's going on, other than
Yeah.
Calidus like having information from his dad. But I don't think he knew about
Yeah.
any of that other stuff.
Yeah. I do think it was a cool concept to where it's like, here's this institute
Yes.
where the best of the best can play this game. It's like a
Yes.
little like Ender's Game thing where it's
Yeah.
like,
It
oh, but the
is.
game is real life, and
Yeah.
like it's really a front for finding someone that can successfully run this secret labyrinth maze that they
Yes.
have to try and. But then, like, why would like? Do you think Viridius knows? Like, do you think any of them know what actually happens with the synchronism? Like after you make
No.
it through there.
I think that is Viridius's sole purpose is trying to figure that out because he thinks the world's gonna have another cataclysm. So he's
Mhm.
like trying to figure it out, but he's not willing to risk himself. So he's risking these kids. Like these
Kids.
teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 18.
Yeah.
Belly was her name. Belly was the one who died.
That's right, Billy. I told Kelly when I was reading it because she was watching that whatever chick flick TV show that all the girlies were obsessed with. And the main character's name is, I think it's like To All the Boys I Loved Before,
Oh,
or something like that. And like the main girl's name is Belly in that. And I was like, hey, Kelly, you'll like this because there's
yeah.
a girl in here named Belly too.
You should read the whole book.
She rolled her eyes.
Trying to find the name of the other friend. But yeah, that another one I wanted to ask is we talked about this a little bit, but the Anguis magic. Like,
Yes.
what's going on there?
What's their angle? So obviously they want to end the hierarchy.
Yes.
And not just end it like take out the people at the top. Like when they launched that attack, they were literally just killing
Oh yeah.
everyone.
Everyone. That was crazy.
And so I wonder if what they know is that like they like the cataclysm is the hierarchy, or like something to do with the whole hierarchy is like what actually brings about the cataclysm. And so the only way to stop it is to just like kill everyone that
Yes.
is part of the hierarchy or seeding in some way.
You know what I just remembered?
Hmm.
When he went to kill, I think his name is Menundo. That's probably not exactly right.
Oh, the like leader of the
Yeah.
AD? Yeah.
And he like goes to touch him and he has this like moment where he sees things and he sees the Black Pyramid and then he sees some other things too. And it makes me wonder if maybe like Menundo had done synchronism or something. Like he clearly, because he saw visions of some areas that I'm assuming are like in those other worlds, would be my guess.
Yeah.
Because Viridius asks him about it point blank.
Yeah.
Or someone does, not Viridius. But yeah, I don't know. It's because like,
See, but that would strengthen my thought then that there is something about seeding will.
Yeah,
that
that's true. Because he was
makes it
Zeus.
so that you can't access that or something. I don't know.
But he did think that, because in that moment, he says out loud that Sadoshia was ceding her will to Menundo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
but he could have been wrong. Could have been wrong. He didn't know for sure. Yeah, dude, I'm so excited. Did you read so in this book, viewers, at the very end, after the story, there's there's a thing where the author says like, "Hey, this is the actual prologue I wrote that I ended up not including in the book."
Yes.
I didn't
Yeah.
read it. Did you?
Yes.
I'm going to. I just
I
haven't yet.
did. Yeah, definitely read it.
Yeah.
It's very good. I can't believe they didn't have him included in the original
Yeah. I'll be
uh,
curious. Well,
publication because I'm glad he did.
isn't it about like the day that he gets taken, like Seuss gets raided?
Hmm.
I understand why they didn't include it, because you get that through the story in a more organic way, and I think those 2 paragraphs opening are just so fucking fire that it's
Yeah.
good.
I think as a prologue, though, it works so
Right.
well because it's just like, it's like, I don't know. It's like Saving Private Ryan, when you get through the whole movie and then the very end of the movie is just like the guy that plays super old Tom Hanks just sitting in
Yeah.
a wheelchair looking at like the gravestones. It pulls you. I don't know. It has that effect of like, oh man, like this was really like a part of
Yeah.
this person's past. Like this whole thing was really
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
part of their past, and like I don't know. I think you'll enjoy it. I think
Yeah.
again, included as well, no, because he says, does he say it was supposed to be at the beginning, like an
Yes.
epilogue?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be an epilogue. Okay, so I think it works fantastic then
I
as
think
a prologue, as a epilogue as opposed to a prologue.
I always get
Did you
confused
say it was
which is
supposed to
which.
be a
I think
pro
prologue.
is before,
Yeah. So it's supposed to be a
epilogue
prologue.
is after? It's supposed to be a prologue. I think it works
Yeah.
much better as an epilogue. Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like you get this whole story and you know that like that day
Yeah.
obviously is and like you said,
Crucial
you get
to his
it
psyche.
organically through the uh whole rest of the story when he's like when they go to Seuss eventually. Like
Yeah.
he just is kind of like thinking about it. They actually go there and you can like, but you never really get to connect to it in the sense that like you just read it straight up, like
Yes.
what
Yeah.
happened and like what it goes through, and then like you go through the whole story and your mind is like blown after the synchronism, and then it has the epilogue of like the thing that like led to this moment. Now
Yes.
it's kind of cool.
That's actually why I haven't read it yet, because I was so mind blown and trying to wrap my head around it. I was like, I cannot read this right now. I was like, I need some time away. That's
Yes.
awesome. Any other
All right.
thoughts about book 1?
No other thoughts. Are we going to talk about the plan for Strength of the Few?
Yes. So the plan.
Oh, dude, that was crazy because your camera froze, and then I was like, it like unfroze, and the book was just like right there.
Dude, have you? So that we talked about this, but this book cover is, you can flip it, and it has a different like thing on each side. But have you looked at the like what's on here? Like, have you looked at this? Let me show you.
Like kind of not really. So it's the people with the swords, right?
Yeah,
Or
they're
like
fucking
one of
flying through the air.
One of them is like flying through the air, and then the pyramid, obviously.
Yeah, but it's like,
And then
what's happening? Yeah,
yeah. Dude, that's
gets me
how
excited.
it honestly made me think of Zeph, son.
Yes, it does look like that.
Yeah.
Who wore
With the
white on
white.
the day he was to kill the king?
Yeah. Spoilers.
That's the first line of the book.
No.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna read this at the same time,
Yes.
and we haven't decided yet. We could do it now or decide off air if we want to do like a halfway episode where we talk about it halfway through, or if we wanted to even do it more frequent than that. Or
Yeah.
But we're definitely going to talk about this to follow up this episode.
That's right. So we'll kind of go along. We'll probably do something similar. We haven't decided yet. We may do some version of like spoiler free and then maybe some spoilers.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do it maybe like kind of book clubby style. If not every week, every other week, or
Every
just
week
kind
would
of
be
checking in. So but we can just kind of check in.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be at least part of the podcast
Yeah.
as we go through this book.
There's lots of other fantasy things I think we would like to talk about some news in the big news in the fantasy world we didn't even touch on today. But
we didn't even touch it.
Yeah.
Yes, we can
talk about that for a while
next week. Yes, we'll talk about that
because we're already
next episode.
over time. Yeah. So look forward to some heavy fantasy genre content for the next few months. Gonna nerd out. Also, a fun fact: within the next month, for sure, I'm gonna finish writing my new book, so we could even talk about that one time.
Yeah, we'll have a celebratory episode for finishing your book, and then I'll start my own podcast where I just review your book.
Yes. Right.
Just talk shit. Like, well, this guy's an author and he can't spell.
Well, that's true. That's what an editor's for.
He doesn't know what any of these words mean. No,
sometimes that's how it feels.
Well, it's good to be back.
It is good to be back. I'm super excited for Strength of the Few.
It'll be good. We will talk to all of you fan next time.
Peace.
See ya.